Sometimes you got to slow it down, so you have to feel what you're working on. To get the right pick, it got to be the right dip, then you could put it on. If you're tired of the jumping, take a trip that we move along. Sexy wine and little heavy, you come together like a slow song. This time it is your time, baby. Let's focus on this wine, baby. This bed will be one of a kind, so prepare your mind and get ready for the jamming.
WEFM, the new fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Purchase your tracks today.
All right, so then St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's that time again when we hand it over to Lyf Compton as he do his commentary this morning. Good morning to you, Lyf.
Hey, good morning, Maka. Good morning, Roleza. How's everyone this morning?
Everybody good.
Boy, you sure you could you're breathing properly in that shot there?
You like the style? Let me unboard it for you.
Morning,
Not easy, you know. Morning. So how you like the little nice sticker?
Maka, me no ask Maka brought it the other day.
What happened to his life?
It come back is a 360. Remember that's how they used to look back in the day, but it used to be wrong instead.
Yeah.
They used to have all the information written in pen. So what used to happen now, how it was written in pen, like after a while it used to fade out.
Mm-hmm.
You remember those ones? Are you not old enough to know them?
I think is the insurance. The insurance is not on this one.
Yeah, the insurance and everything used to be on there, which was kind of like I always find writing that kind of information then problematic because like I could insure today and my insurance out tomorrow, and the insurance that out tomorrow will be on there, but it's already renewed. So then the police they come under some unnecessary scrutiny. But the new one is it raised some interesting points, right? People were asking, so what if I go and screw over my car and then the police pull me over and they check it and they see my car is not gray but it's black, or it's not black, it's red. So people had a little issue with that, right? So because people had issue with that, you see, you have to be very careful which words you use when you disseminate information, right? You have to be very careful which words you use. So because people were wondering, okay, saying, oh, the sticker make no sense because you could screw over your car. The Inland Revenue Department decided to put out a explanation. So this says you have to ask permission before you change your car color.
What?
That's what they say. You have to ask permission.
Let life finish because
right.
Let life finish.
Right. So that created a little bit of anxiety in some instances. Anger in some instances. So then someone had to come and explain that they will use the wrong word. You have to inform the licensing authority before you change the color, not ask permission.
Or notify.
You understand?
Notify.
Yeah, you have to notify. You have to inform them that you change the color, you're going to change the color or whatever. But you gotta be very careful when you're using words. It all comes down to language, right? Because when they say, oh, you have to ask permission, it is illegal if you don't ask permission. People are going crazy with it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, why would I have to ask permission before I change the color of my vehicle? This is a communist country or what? You know what I mean? So you gotta be very careful with the words you use, right? Mm-hmm. And that a few weeks ago when Maduro was kidnapped from Venezuela by the U.S. government. They had a rally in Kingston by the Venezuela embassy, and I think it was Blazer Williams. I think it was. He was telling people to be very careful of the words they use because the American media had wrote that Maduro was captured. Mm-hmm. So, and when I read that, I was like, which journalist in the right mind will write that Maduro was captured? Like that's just pure propaganda. But captured. Why was he captured? when they capture somebody, that mean they're a wanted criminal. Who said Nigeria was a criminal more than the US? So the US media was using this word captured. So Mr. Williams was saying that you have to be very careful the words you use, because he wasn't captured, he was taken. You know what I mean? So he's saying the better word to use should have been kidnapped. He was kidnapped. You know what I mean? So you have to be very, very careful, because that license sticker PR piece that's saying that you have to ask permission. So
I was wondering if they had pulled down that initial video though. Where it had, yeah, because when I saw the notice that went up, I think it was Friday afternoon when they notified them. I was just saying the initial video, wherever it came from, wherever it surfaced from, should have been taken down. But anyways,
yeah.
If I decide to spur over my vehicle, I have to get a different sticker.
Well, that's the thing again. I don't know how that's going to work. That's problematic, because the stickers go cost them money to print. Right. So I don't think the procedure was explained properly. While I understand that you should inform them.
But at what point do you inform them? Because if I spur over, I'm not informing until I make my next payment.
That's you see the PR piece wasn't clear, and it wasn't effective. So this is where I come back to proper PR, right? Because exactly, are they going to print another sticker for you free of cost?
Well, that's it.
Or you have to pay a small fee to get it. I don't understand how they're gonna do that. That's why they needed to explain, because people normally just go. Yeah, I don't even see what was wrong with the last sticker. What was wrong with the last sticker? Last sticker was normal. I don't think anything was wrong with it. Like, why change it? You know what I mean? Why come back a full 360 to that old kind of style? You know what I mean? Is it making, to me, it really here day. You know, but it complicates things, because now you obviously going to have people who go and spray over the vehicle, and it have people going and say, boy, me again, and they for inform them the bonus. You know what I mean? People really care.
If I paid for it today, and let's say next month I spray over, I'm not informing you till I go back and make an experiment. I'm sorry, I'm not going back in there. Yeah, you know, so I guess I don't know.
Maybe when you inform them, they change it in the system and not on the decal. Maybe. Yeah, but they're not explaining anything more than for confuse people and get people vexed. And then I make it worse. A police officer, a police officer who said it, so people get even more vexed.
Yeah, but I mean, so I understand the person's comments, and not wanting to have to, number one, either the misquoting.
Go back in there.
Right.
Go back in. Yeah.
I mean, the person's actually spray over the vehicles frequently, or spray over the vehicle often, so that's another factor as well. So yeah.
Yeah,
the majority of persons, your vehicle is going to be the same color within the year or for years actually. So I don't even necessarily see this as a whole big issue in terms of from a national standpoint.
Yeah. Quite a few people there's quite a few people that's change the vehicle color though, especially like body workshops are always full, but maybe like some of them go and put back in the same color though. You know what I mean? But it can create a problem though. I could see somebody sprayed over the vehicle, getting pulled over, and the police checking the license sticker and giving them an issue about it. But I don't know how the Inland Revenue Department going to deal with when you tell them to change it. Maybe they go come out and explain that. You know what I mean? But another thing again, in Parliament, the opposition leader was saying that because of the estimated money expected to be derived from vehicle licenses, it seems like if they're going up soon. But he was talking about the revenue from vehicles licenses steadily going up, but not steadily, going up partially. And this year, it's estimated to be even more than last year, but it's a rise of $3 million. So he was saying it looks like if that means that we're going to see a rise in vehicle licenses. I hope not, because cheese and bread, them done high already. Vehicle licenses done high already. You know what I mean? It's really that's something people just dread now.
Mm-hmm.
When you have time for vehicle license, people get jumpy and dread that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's only once a year, man.
Yeah, you know, but so
Once
the vehicle license.
Well, if you pay half,
It's half
is the same money for the
No,
year?
it's not.
No, it's more. It's more. If you pay half, it's more.
No.
Maka rich. You see, Maka just pay that one time, so you know.
It's once a year.
He can't relate to what the rest of us go through.
Yeah, he can't relate to the half year. He can't relate to the half year. But it's really high for some people, right? Some people have vehicle licenses like over $9. Like I talk about private vehicles like $800-900, and you know what I mean. And then really people always complain like really see the reason, right? Because they say vehicle license money is a fixed road, but it's just another tax that go to anything that the government or put to. It's not really for fixed road. It's supposed to be, but that's not how it works. So the opposition leader said.
Yeah, but another thing that could add to it as well. I mean, of course, it would not get it necessarily to the point of the 3 million. But remember, we do have more vehicles coming in. But
as in
all right, go ahead.
Yeah. That's the next point I was going to make, because every month we see vehicles coming in. So maybe the rise in price is that they probably estimate from the rise in vehicles coming into the country and thing. But what they also have to do, right, is that realize that there are a lot of people on the road who don't pay them, who don't pay them vehicle taxes. A lot of vehicles on the road that don't pay taxes and insurance. You know what I mean? And you only gonna know that a vehicle insurance is not paid when somebody hits you. The police happen to stop you and ask you for it. You know what I mean? Because like I've been in 2 accidents already with people running into me, and when they check out, the driver one of my worst incidents was somebody ran into my back, right? Push me into the other lane, and a vehicle come down and hit the front. So you hit the back, you push me out in the other lane, and somebody hit the front. A truck hit the front, right? And when the police came, the driver didn't have a license. The vehicle wasn't insured for license for 8 years, and he didn't have no insurance. Nothing. So there was I remember another incident where a family member, somebody had run into their vehicle, and it was the same thing. The driver had a license, but the vehicle was not insured or licensed. So there's a lot of vehicles on the road. There are a lot of people who drive vehicles on the road who just take the risk of not insuring and not paying the license. Some of them simply because they can't afford it. You know what I mean? And some of them just don't care. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You remember a popular radio host back in the day was driving for 20-something years without a license, and the police never found out. The police found out by mistake. You remember that one?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I tried off here. Remember who that was?
Yeah. That. Well, it was in the media. It was Dwight Bing Joseph. It was in the media. It was exposed in the media. It was Bing.
20-something years?
Yeah, he was driving for about 25 years never had a license.
But to yourself,
Never had a license. Never paid his license. Which one?
No, he never had a license. It seems like he never had a license. Seems like he never had a license. Forward.
I'm always surprised when I hear of these things. Like, but to yourself as a driver, you would hear a person saying, "I'm going to pay this. I'm going to pay that." And you don't stop and say, "But wait, I've never paid this. I've never paid that."
No, he did. I think it was a spiteful thing, because there was another I know of another guy who never used to pay his vehicle licenses. He never used to pay them. He used to have fake stickers all the time.
Fake
from down in your area, Roleza, he died the other day. Yeah. He never used to pay vehicle licenses. He used to always have some kind of fake sticker. I don't know where he used to get them from. And then and then at one point someone was arrested for someone was detained and questioned for apparently passing off license stickers to him for his personal use. That they had that's when they had decided in the revenue department had decided that they had to put more checks and balances in place for these things when that investigation was held, because it seems like if they never used to like have proper checks to check how many stickers they used to put out or whatever. So I think that's for that. And then like in the revenue department used to always be in some kind of drama back in the days before they had a proper system. You remember the incident where there was a young lady that had stolen.
I remember.
Yeah, she had stolen a lot of money, but they couldn't determine how much, so they end up and just basically charge you for something like for around 10 grand. When the amount stolen was probably 10 times that. They just couldn't. I don't know what kind of accounting system they had in there at the time, you know. I mean, it was this lady from Bayabu. She had kept all her receipts. You know, those kind of people, she kept all her receipts. So when she went back to pay, they told her that she was owing. And she said, no, I'm not owing anything. And she brought back all the receipts, and then they couldn't reconcile them. They couldn't find what she was talking about. And when they check out, they did the investigation, they find out that was an ongoing thing where somebody saw the loophole in the system and was exploiting it and had stolen thousands and thousands of dollars from them. You know what I mean? So yeah, so they by now they got their act together. But one of the main things that they can't seem to do is get people to pay. They can't seem to Inland Revenue Department is owed millions and millions of dollars from outstanding taxes from every way you could think, everything you could think about. Yeah, everything you could think about. And what the last time I spoke to the controller, Mr. Pompey, he was explaining the situation, and he explained a very it's a bad situation, but what they have the laws to back them in every way. But I guess like governments see implementing some of these laws and an attack on the people. You understand? So they always think, I think the governments think that if we go after people, it's going to affect is the electorate, and they're going to vote we out.
Yep.
Well, yeah. While in bigger countries, you don't pay taxes, you're going to prison. You are going to prison. In these big countries, they don't care about antagonizing the electorate in relation to this. You pay taxes, you get some serious fines, or you go to prison. But I think it's time they start to go after people for this, though, because some people are just really ridiculous, to be honest. You know what I mean? I was saying so since the first time I heard about that situation, how bad that was probably like 3 years ago. And I was saying, boy, government need to go after these people, because one time they did it, you know, you remember they did it at time, you know. But like the people it affected were like lawyers. They had lawyers, they had like few businessmen from the Southern Grenadines, a few guys from mainland and thing, but it wasn't like on the full scale I would expect. And then like a lot of them paid. But a lot of the money they were saying they owed was like plenty money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Because
most of them are in finance of the category of being self-employed. So once you're self-employed,
yeah,
right.
Like there was some hotel people. There were like some hotel people, hoteliers. There were some businessmen who sell vehicles. There were a lot of lawyers. You know what I mean? Some people went and got it queried and then realized that what they're saying they were owing wasn't so much. But you definitely need to look into implementing that. Seeing that, to me, it's kind of obvious in the next couple of months the government might be kind of cash strapped. A lot of people are predicting going to the IMF. They say they will never go to the IMF, but I think in the next few months the government will be cash strapped and it will need that extra income from any source. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but you see, this is the problem, Lyf. We don't like when we're hearing money from an extra source being us, because it's already rough on many of us. You understand? This is why they need to find other measures to get money generated within the economy, because to tax us again is rough, you know. And I mean, I understand the role of the Inland Revenue Department, but as you said, if you have to implement, or if they were to come down hard on many persons, it would be difficult for many of us to own anything in the end. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, the responsibility when you take on, whether it is starting a business, well, a business that's generating profits for you to get to the point of, let's say, paying VAT, or even corporate taxes, or whether you get a home or whether you buy a vehicle, we know that it comes with responsibilities, but sometimes people just spin and tap in mud, and then to have to actually pay what you're supposed to be paying, it's pressure. We know you're taking on, but it's pressure.
Yeah, but the thing too now, there are a lot of people, some of the people that were on the inland revenue department don't make the money and just decide them ain't paying it. You know what I mean? It's not.
But is it? But are they actually going to go after those persons or the smaller persons?
That's the thing.
All of us together and use the same measure to apply the same amount of force on all of us, then you know if the smaller person was going to end up feeling it.
What Mr. Pompey had explained the last time I spoke to him is that they are payment plans, so you don't have to pay everything one time. They could help you with payment plans, right? Because they just want the money. But a lot of the people sorry, I do slamming it. A lot of the people who own the IRD is big business people, man, who don't collect the money already and use it for something else. You know what I mean? So what they were saying that you could come and work with a payment plan. Interesting enough, when we were speaking, right, I had remember that I didn't pay my land tax. So when I went to check, it was owed for something like 2 years, and it was really not much, because it was like something like $40 or something like that, or $20 or something like that. So some of the people owe big money, but some just owe small money and just decide they may paying it, right? And I have never heard the IRD went and take away land or take away house or take away vehicle or whatever. But these are laws, they can if they want to. You know what I mean? And if they come and take away your vehicle, trust me, that person going to find the money to pay that. You know what I mean?
From borrowing from somebody else.
Yeah, but it don't matter.
Situation and putting yourself in more stress again. All right.
You see, nobody don't like tax. Nobody don't like taxes, right? But at the end of the day, it's unfair. See, I paid mine and other people ain't paying theirs. And so many people ain't paying them in a better financial situation than me or you. You know what I mean? They just decide they ain't paying none. You know what I mean? But so I think that if you like go after 2 or 3 people and people see it and it's publicized and they take it to court or whatever, I think a lot of people might start to comply, because it's a big problem. You know, it's a lot of money. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I do agree that. I didn't know we having this conversation this morning.
You know what I mean?
I do agree. I always say that if inland revenue and customs to some extent, if they put down the heavy handy way, which they would, or they could. Yeah,
custom?
There's a reason why I say customs, but let me leave that part alone, right? I think that there would be some more money in the coffers for the country, but yeah.
One time customs traumatized me with a shoe. A friend of mine had asked me to order a shoe for him. I think the shoe was a Jordan, one of them high-end Jordans. And when the shoe reached customs sent $700 and something.
Yeah.
To clear the shoe.
But I'm sure that you've had occasions when you've gone to customs and you didn't pay as much as you thought you were going to pay.
Christmas time. When you buy a land box.
Listen, you see, customs officers is the one set of people here I don't make noise with, right? Because I find, so there are one time that I find, so yes, they might apply whatever the rate or whatever it is supposed to be, they apply it fully. But then the next time, I find sometimes I get applied. So this is why I don't really come down too much on them, because I find dependent, it's weight, it's balanced.
Listen. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's according to who you meet. Maybe I shouldn't say so, but it's according to who you meet. One time I got into customs to clear something, I met an ex.
You get charged more?
Big mistake. That was a big mistake. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, but sometimes you go to customs and you get hit with some costs and you're wondering, boy, this was really, you say to yourself, boy, this was really worth it. But at other times you go and then like, you know, you kind of get surprised. But I think the best time to go is like during the Christmas time when they have free boxes and free barrels or whatever. But any other time you go, trust me, customs will eat your food. As we say.
Well, that's the thing. My experience has always been balanced. Sometimes it's more than I thought I was going to pay, and sometimes it's less. So customs officers don't ever hear me say a word. I don't say nothing.
Nah, it make no sense. You're gonna say a word, you say a word, you say a word, and then when they go back in the office, they say, but she now cost me now. And all them in the team are paying for the next time you come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what sometimes customs don't reflect is that you might buy something on sale, and then a customs officer might tell you, now you didn't pay that for it. That's where the problem is coming. Right? Because you're supposed to pay the duty and the cost that you paid, not on what they think it should be. Because sometimes you get, as I say, you get stuff on sale, but then sometimes they can't believe that you get for that.
Yeah, but you're supposed to present your invoice? Yeah,
but sometimes they present it and they doubt it. Right? They present it and you doubt it. Sometimes that does happen. Because they're okay. You know, when they have sales in the USA, Canada, England, you know what it says a sale is a sale. You might see something that cost $1,000 last week and they have it on sale for $300 this week. So sometimes that's where the problem is coming. The customs officers don't believe that you paid that for the item. But those are the two main income generating departments for the government, which is Inland Revenue and Customs. So they had to enforce it seriously, right? But time enough that Inland Revenue Department go after people who owe them taxes, though, because it ain't fair to the other people. It ain't fair to the other people, right? You know, and it's so easy to find out. Inland Revenue Department people must be vexed with me because I see Roleza smoking right through. Yeah, people going. Maybe the system could generate a list of people who own vehicle licenses. Because someone driving boat without paying the insurance and the vehicle license is a serious thing, eh? Because it could impact me and you. Because I was never paid for the vehicle. I was never paid for the vehicle that the guys mash up. The guys run into me. Right? And a lot of people end up in a situation when the police end up and tell you, okay, we could prosecute them from our end, which is illegal not to have license, and your vehicle license and insurance is illegal. But you have to go and fight up with them in civil court.
Which takes for years, eh?
Sometimes it don't
ever come out. Because they probably don't even have it to pay.
Yeah, and the court then, when the court charge you, the court going to tell you pay, and they're going to take, you don't even have to be paying it. It takes another couple of years before they enforce it and lock you up or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's it. But one thing I want to mention is that the USA is now going after Cuba, fully going after Cuba. They basically when they captured Maduro, when they kidnapped Maduro.
Okay.
When they kidnapped Maduro, they it kind of cut off the one of Cuba's lifeline for oil. So they it sunk Cuba deeper into economic turmoil, and basically they say Cuba need to watch themselves because they need to look at what happened to Venezuela, and they like threatening Cuba now and saying, Cuba is about to fall. And President Trump announced, I think it's yesterday or 2 days ago, that they are in talks with Cuba. The higher officials in Cuba are in talks with the USA or whatever. So I don't know what is going to happen there. And he's speaking about, Cuba doesn't have an economy. Cuba economy is about to fall. But it's your fault. You did this to Cuba. And then they said they will impose further sanctions on people who, in the absence of Maduro and Venezuela, or they say they go impose sanctions on people who decide to trade in oil with Cuba. And then you talk about, the economy bad, it's about to fall or whatever. It was your fault. So what you're seeing in Cuba now is people lining up at gas stations trying to stockpile gas and natural gas. They have a lot of power outages right now and things going on over there, and it's just making it really bad for the people to make a living. And one article I read said that a lot of Cubans, now more than ever, are fleeing to neighboring islands, including Jamaica, and it's creating a national security issue for Jamaica, where a lot of Cubans are being held and deported back to Cuba and what's not. Problems are created by the United States, who do not wish to have, they want the whole world to have the type of governance system that they have. Nobody shouldn't be, trying to do their own thing.
As all of these things are happening in the world, so for us, it seems a little bit unprecedented in that it feels new to us. Like what is happening is new to us in a sense.
Yeah.
But, I'm just thinking that, in other generations, let's say our grandparents, our great-grandparents, the world went through something of their own at that time as well, So it's just kind of weird for us to have to go through and experience it now, because, of course, we're asking what's this audacity by the United States? But, I mean, it has happened before in history with other nations, etc., But it's just weird for us. Oh, well, I don't know how you feel about it. You and Maka feel about it. But for me, it's just weird to be living through this time in life, After growing up, and for the most part, everything was just calm, Countries had their own issues, internal issues. But now to have those outside pressures, etc., it's just, I don't know, maybe it's my adult eyes just feeling weird about everything.
No, it is weird because all the progress the region has made in relation to CSME, CARICOM, free movement of nationals, uniting the Caribbean as one space, has gone down the drain because of one man. It's gone down the drain. Countries are being isolated, picked off one by one. You know what I mean?
Okay, we lost it there for a little bit. Lyf? Okay. Okay, so Lyf will be back with us shortly.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, we're hearing you now. What you doing? Yes, we're hearing you. What you doing?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear us, but we were good the whole
I don't know
time.
what
All right, if you take off the headphones, would you hear us? Okay.
Have to be from Lyf N.
Yeah.
Tracks today.
Maybe we could just wrap things up.
Let me see.
Oh, he is back. All right.
Yeah. So,
Lyf, you hearing us?
Yeah.
All
What
right.
I was saying is that Trinidad has totally isolated itself from the rest of the region. Cuba is now becoming a problem for Jamaica. Haiti, Dominican Republic, that's basically one big mess.
All right, you're gone again. Okay. All right, Lyf. Okay. All right, let me just see if he comes back in, and if anything, then we will just wrap up the segment for today. So let's just give him a few seconds. All right, so try again.
Yeah. Barbados, what happened is people trying to call me, so it keep cutting the call off.
Okay.
Yeah. Barbados, that was once like on its own. They didn't really want Jamaicans and Vincentians there. They were coming on board. They came on board so much that we now have free movements. Now seems like if all these people have to just study about self-preservation and think about itself, it's really a big setback. Antigua, under pressure, Grenada, St. Lucia, Dominica. Now, Major Sinclair Leacock said that they have to look at the possibility of accepting the deportees, but it has to be a cabinet consensus, and they have to take they have to look at what's going on in the wider region and thing. Also,
Cabinet or CARICOM? Cabinet or CARICOM? I think it's CARICOM. He said.
No, well, he said cabinet. He said it has to be discussed at the cabinet level. So there has to be consensus of the cabinet, and then they still have to look at what CARICOM is doing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like it just segregate the region again. It's just gone back to square one where everybody have to struggle and fight for themselves.
Another thing, we in the Caribbean. I mean, I always say for us as Vincentians, my mother always liked to use this word when we were growing up, privilege, right? That we used to be acting too privileged, or we too privileged when it comes to certain things. When you're children, how parents be sometimes, mommy, how parents be sometimes. So I find, in a context where as Vincentians, we're not used to disruptive things, right? So like burial was something disruptive, Soufre was disruptive, COVID was also disruptive. But for the greater extent of our lives, but at least my life, right? Or our lives, because we're the same age. Well, we are on the same age. We're not used to disruptive things, but not to have all of these other things playing in. It's like, and for us as a region, the only time we are divided in the region is when it comes to, little petty things, but on its own, we're together, we stand together. But now to have to deal with all of these things, it's like, this is not what we used to.
Yeah. And why? Because of one country. It just, why? You know what?
All right, tomorrow. I get the message tomorrow. Yeah, I see it. I just see you. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. So that is Lyf signing out for today. That was today's commentary. So for the greater part of the conversation, we were talking about collecting taxes in SVG. Not one of the most comfortable things for many of us as citizens, but all right.
for Roleza.
Listen, it can't be me alone. It ain't me alone. Anyways, we're going to head on out. Anything final thing?
No.
All right. So our time check here in SVG, it is 8:22. And our time check came to the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life, that doesn't make it any easier. When dealing with the loss of a loved one, you may try